All right, welcome back to part 2 of the MacBook experiment. As you know, I have already upgraded the 13-inch MacBook. What? That looks insane. I've already upgraded this guy, and so this is actually I've got an original as well. Although it's the 15-inch. The 15-inch is it's a special type. Basically, this one's now 4 gigs of RAM, and it has, I forgot, maybe a 500 gig hard drive. No, it's got its original 780 gig hard drive or something like that. Both machines are currently off, so I think it would be kind of cool just to do a test and see what kind of boot up speeds we get. that's the perfect view if you think about it. Okay, cool. So maybe I'll set this up. So this one has a standard hard drive in it. It is a 15-inch, but it's a 2010, so it's got a similar processor, probably even weaker than this 13-inch. But it'll give you an idea. It's still going to start up. Macs just don't depend as much on the processor to get going initially. Their processes are a little bit different than PCs when they start up. So I think what we'll do is I'll lay this here, and we'll see what the time is. So here's the here. It's not super great. Let's get some music going here. Whoa! It went straight in. I would say, I mean, probably a minute and a half. I was at least 6 seconds short there. We can obviously review the video and match up the time, so that's pretty handy. But you've got roughly a minute and a half. So I'll just, it's the 15-inch. We'll move over to the 13-inch now. See if I can get that same perspective going on. Yeah, that's not bad. Okay. And here we go with the 13-inch. Now this one has 8 gigs of RAM, and it has a solid state SATA drive, not an NVMe. This is a 2012, a mid-2012 non-Retina MacBook. And there we go, we've got the progress bar loading. It looks like everything's loaded up, all the previous applications, of course. It's a pretty fast machine now, though. I'm really impressed with the usability of this machine, and what it kind of looks like is it's really able to let's do this. It's really able to hold its own when doing basic tasks. No. I want displays. Yeah. Oh, I can't remember how to make the thing show up. That's okay. And I've got the dark theme going on it. So what I found with this machine, the follow-up that I wanted to do is I actually used this. I used this computer for most of my YouTubing. I had some quick video editing happen on it and stuff like that, and it did great. I was really impressed with it. I mean, obviously with some video editing, it was having it was struggle busting. It was having a tough time. I was getting mixed up on those two words, but The question is really, is this thing usable? Well, I think there is a use case for it. There's a lot of people buying a MacBook Air because it feels like a fast machine. And there's also a lot of people buying it because it's super light and thin and everything else. MacBook Airs are awesome for basic research, getting a little bit of light work done. Apparently they can do some light editing. I don't think I would really recommend that. I mean, obviously the portability is awesome. So if you're looking for that in a MacBook Air, an Ultrabook sort of thing to compete against, MacBook Air is going to win out. If you don't mind lugging around a regular laptop, this thing's amazing. It's got the wonderful trackpad that basically no Windows machine can compete with. And it's got a really nice keyboard layout. The thing looks stylish for how old it is. This thing's like 8 years old, and I mean, it's still looking good. I mean, come on. It looks nice. The other things that I like about this are if you need a DVD drive, this is like one of the last models that has it. I guess this is the last model that has it. And then it has a lot of nice port I/O connection. So that's obviously pretty handy too. One of my favorite things is the battery indicator, where you can press this button and it'll show you how much life is on that battery. I just wish more laptops did that. I mean, even expensive ones don't seem to do that. But for an all-in-one package, this is a pretty nice thing. I think that the use case is this. I think if you have someone that's a student or trying to get through school, college, this is going to be a great machine. You could put a second SSD in here and ditch the DVD drive, and this thing would be, I mean, if you ran that in RAID and you install macOS on that, it's going to be so fast. The processor is just strong enough to handle any YouTube, Netflix, that kind of stuff that you throw at it. Light video editing doesn't seem to be an issue. I wouldn't do anything over HD, full HD. I wouldn't go 4K. I probably wouldn't go 2K on it. I bet it would do 2K, and that would be sort of like its theoretical limit or whatever. But it's a nice machine. And like I said, for the age, for the price, I paid $200 for this. I ended up putting, I think I put 150 worth of upgrade into it at sort of standard prices. And you could go 16 gigs. This thing's, it's doing great. I think for the most case, like this machine, because it's got the stronger aluminum chassis, these extra features, it's got a strong hinge. This one I tightened up the hinge on. That's not hard to do. They're really serviceable. I can't believe how easy this thing is to work on. Now, I am a technician, so it's probably not fair to say that, I guess. But for me, it was really easy to work on. It was great. I liked this one so much, in fact, that I went out and I purchased another Mac, and that one I've got a review on as well. So that'll be in the next video. But again, I think to summarize this guy, the use case, you're under $400 for a laptop. It has, I think now it's got a 250 gig SSD, 8 gigs of RAM, and I'm just trying to turn it at this point because I wanted to test it out. I like the sleep cycle on this. It's way easier for research, for just doing fun stuff, watching videos, that kind of stuff. This is a great package. I had a joy of a time getting around on this machine, and it was just bright enough. The screen is a little bit dim. It's a little pixelated because it's the pre-Retina. But man, that makes parts super cheap for it. You can get the whole top assembly for it, I think, for like $80. So there's just, like, if I wanted to get rid of this dent here, it just wouldn't cost a whole lot to get rid of it. I might even be able to open it up and kind of hammer that out a little bit too. So What else? A young student might be able to use this, or someone looking for a MacBook Air just because it would feel quick. This machine feels fast. It does feel fast. It's fantastic, to be honest. And aside from that, certainly you could do banking and that kind of stuff on this guy. It has the current Catalina operating system still supported, so that's kind of a big deal. And those are the reasons that I would recommend it. If you're looking to do more strenuous activity, I would probably look at a 15-inch MacBook overall, because they've got, after 2010, they have quad-core processors. And 2011, I would stay away from because there's some video card scandal going on with it. But 2012, the only pre-Retina MacBook, which I have one over here. I've been daily driving that 2012-15, and it's honestly replaced all my other laptops for now. So I don't know how long that will stay in play, but like I said, I'll do more of a review on that one coming up. As for the 13, this one's, like I said, a little bit slower, but when you open it up, you can see it's almost instant to turn back on. So it's been really fun to use. But those are my thoughts on the 2012 2012 MacBook Pro non-Retina. I think it's a winner, man. And the keyboard layout and everything else. The only thing I wish I had is a 10 key, but I can live without it. It's not that big of a deal. That's all I've got for you. Thank you for stopping by. Of course, leave a comment, leave a like,